Knoebels, Rick, Brian, Stacy, and Dan. Come on, Dan.
Quickly. Come on, I can't suck it in much longer.
Slow down.
There we go. As soon as I give up, it's like, all right. I'm humbled. Thank you very, very much. Last year, in 2015, the next generation took over and did a fantastic job on the Impulse. I got to credit them, they did it all. All I had to do was sign the checks. So, I'm passing the mic. Thank you.
Thanks again.
I feel like I should say thank you.
Oh, I got front row seat.
We were so very lucky to see so many of you last year come out and support Impulse. It became a coaster that we saw grandma riding with grandkid for the first time. You know, first steel coaster that a kid ever rode in his or her entire life. So we got a lot of good feedback about how well it complemented the park. We had a lot of fun with it, and thank you again to those of you who came out to support us on opening day. It came down to the wire. I think we were just talking about it at lunch. Got a phone call at 12:50 a.m. opening day, saying that it was going to open, and kicked it into high gear right at that point.
So it's every year it seems like story time with Brian. And what we talked about was, like, we sat there with Pete Owens and Laura Woodburn, and I don't know how these other parks know when their opening day is going to be. Did you see the video earlier with Will Cook from Holiday World? I don't know if Lauren is still here. And hey there. And when your dad said it was
January 11th.
January 11th, and the coaster was going to open May the 7th. I'm like, how do they know that? I had the representative from Zero call my house, call my cell at 12:50 in the morning, and in his German accent, "You can proceed with opening." So I called Stacy right away, and I'm like, he said it's a green light, and she had 2 press releases ready to go. I mean, I don't know what a press release is. This is Knoebels. Fly by the seat of our pants. So it was pretty incredible. So somebody someday in here can teach me how to, be ready for these things ahead of time. But it worked.
So one of the really cool things is that the same year that we opened up a brand new steel roller coaster, we also celebrated 50 years with one of our rides in the park. So, it's awesome to have that mix of classic brand new steel coaster, and Dick actually purchased roto-jets.
I got home from the Marines on Mother's Day of 1965. Pounded on the door of my home, and my mother comes to the window upstairs and calls out, "Who's there?" I said, "Your prodigal son is home." So that was Mother's Day, and then Pete said, "Look, Freedom Land is closing. Go up there and see what you might find good." So went looking for one particular ride, but that wasn't available. So I decided I'd buy the Rotojets. Now that particular Rotojet, built in Germany outside of Munich, and first found life in Forest Park in St. Louis, Missouri. And then when that park closed because of the fire and everything else, it was moved to Freedom Land, because they were trying to save Freedom Land by the infusion of good park rides. Better than those canoes, war canoes you had to paddle. I don't know if anybody here ever been to Freedom Land? A couple. Go a long way back. Anyway, so they did the deal to buy a ride. My uncle's, I found a local crane and sent a local trucker who trucks coal. And he also had a lowboy. So we loaded the booms in the dump trailer, and then the cars on top, and put the center unit on this lowboy. And we got across the George Washington Bridge, but then we weren't allowed to go on the New Jersey Turnpike or the Parkway. So we had to cut across on 46, I think is, into Jersey and across into Easton. And I'm following in the truck, my car. And we get up to around Schuylkill Haven, and all of a sudden he just pulls over to the side of the road. And I just jumped out and said, "What's wrong?" He says, "I can't take this any further. I lost my clutch when we crossed the Delaware River." But anyway, we got it home, got it set up, and the compressor failed. And so we went over to the local Army surplus dealer, loaded up this big diesel compressor on the back of our one flat truck, and that's how we started running. The next day, the night before the 4th of July, the transmission goes out. But I knew that George Perlug, who was a guy from up around Wilkes-Barre, who was trying to build a park outside of Berwick, at Beach Haven, he had one there. And he wasn't going to get open because they had to build a racetrack too. The first race they had, they killed the flagman. So, but he also has there in that field yet, to the best of my knowledge, the stainless steel rocket ship cars from Coney Island. So I know where they are. Anyway, he had a Rotojet there, and myself and two other fellows, one fellow still worked for us, Lee Cook, who takes care of the railroads. We went up and on a Saturday night, took this pried it out of this ride, took it out, put it in ours, and away we left it. So it's been running that way ever since. But we did return his we were going to return his gearbox, but he says, keep it. So that's the Rotojets, 50 years.
Just to let you know, this is the first time Brian or I ever heard that story too.
He just blows my mind because we're sitting down sometimes for lunch, he'll point at something in the park and just start spewing out these details about it. He knows the exact dates of everything. It's like a vivid picture in his mind, and what a wealth of knowledge. We're just lucky.
Please write it down.
Somebody send us this video here.
Yeah, make a video.
Have them record, just record it.
Yeah, we got the video.
Every ride. There you go.
Sarah.
All right, what's next?
30 years with Phoenix. I thought was really cool, we brought with us pieces of lumber that were original to the rocket that we were still using until the end of the 2015 season. So we brought some lumber to auction off, and someone had suggested, do we do that right now?
Go for it.
Do we do it right now? Original? There you go.
Yeah, this is original 1948 Douglas fir from the rocket in San Antonio. So, 1948 to 1985, it became the Phoenix, and good for another 30 years, and there's a lot of good lumber there yet. Because the rocket was one of the very first pressure-treated wood coasters. It was the biggest job that Koppers Company ever had at their treating plant in Houston. 3 railroad carloads.
And he will sign it. We'll sign it if you would like. Do we have a
The
story?
winner, the first bid, the winning bid, if you want a special message put on it, they will sign it with that special message for you. We have 3 pieces to auction off. We'll go to the Ace Preservation Fund.
All right, who's gonna start at $100?
$100.
Boy. 100? Oh,
yeah,
there we got 100.
100 for
How
David.
about that flying?
125? Over here, 125. 150? David? 175? No. David, you're in a war. 200? All right. Well, we have 200 so far for the first piece. 200? Anyone want to top 200? 200 going once.
On the other one.
200 going twice. David
So,
Lipnicki.
David Lipnicki.
Wait. Okay, all right, okay. Yep, she's gonna bid on the next one. This one's yours, David. Thank you, 200. Well, I gotta get my cut.
All right, the next piece, we'll also start this one at $100.
175.
I'm sorry, what was it looking? All right, $100, 125, 125, 150. Let's see one in the back. 175. Over here. $200. Going once, going twice. Oh,
Way in the back.
$200. Sorry. $200 back there, right? 225? Going once, going twice, and sold! What's your name?
We'll
I can't see back there.
We'll get it after the.
Okay. That's another auction.
You could all come out.
How much did that cost? Yes.
Free admission, free parking, and free hugs.
You gotta sign again anyway.
Yeah, I will, yes.
I gotta just get the money.
What's your
I
name?
want to hugs. Susan Adams.
Susan Ad, right, okay.
This
Number?
Got this.
Yeah. Let's do the third one now.
Do the third one now. All right, we'll start again at $100. Right there. 125.
125 up here.
All right. 150. There's one. 175. $200.
Are you sure? I got the
Okay.
money.
225.
225? Yep,
There you go.
225.
250.
Not, yep,
There you
250.
go. 275.
No.
No?
I don't know.
No.
That's-
Can they pay on a credit card?
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Okay. See, there you go.
That's 275, right? Okay.
$300.
Credit cards.
Yes, we do.
275.
275 is, anybody bidding at 300?
Right here. Adam Swika, 275, or 300 rather. 300.
$325. Anyone?
325, Rick.
There, look at that. 350.
She's daring people now, look.
Yeah, she's being aggressive. Anybody at 350? Once? Twice? They got it, $350. You get a hug too.
David, I don't think he's gonna hug you.
I want my hug.
You gotta let it linger.
Now, let's see. If that went to the preservation fund, I think that was a preservation of me.
Okay, so we tried something new this year. We have been talking with some of you about Phoenix Fall Fun Fest, and we received some feedback that it's becoming a big event, and so we decided to create an exclusive Friday night event. So it was members of approved enthusiast groups, and then we heard from some of you that you would like to bring a significant other or friend. So we ended up having a Friday night exclusive event with exclusive ride time on Impulse, some food, and also Ryan and Rick surprised Dick and presented him with one of our old moon buggies, refurbished, and he drove it around the entire time. So we had a lot of fun with that. Yes. So it was a huge success. We heard a lot of positive feedback from the people who were there, and the people who weren't there, we heard they wished that they went. So.
Who all here was that it?
Oh wow!
All right.
Awesome.
Well, thanks for coming.
That's awesome. Another brand new thing for this past year, we now have an online store.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, we're very excited about that. And with the addition of that, we now have gift cards as well. So we've been hearing that there was a need for that for quite some time. So we had a number of items on it, including, I don't know if many of you realize this, Roaring Creek Rescue Book was actually written by a Knoebels family member. Lauren Moscato, do you guys know Joe Moscato? His daughter actually wrote Roaring Creek Rescue, so we're really proud of that. Yes, your niece. So we're very proud about that.
And the illustrator was,
Since 1926, we've been a part of the family. Knoebels in Erie, Pennsylvania, where you make new memories, the old-fashioned way, and have for 90 years.
So this year is our 90th anniversary celebration. 4th of July, we will officially be 90 years old. We'll be hosting a special event for that. So come on out and join us on July 4th for that. We have a packed event schedule this year. We have more events than ever before. We won't run through all of them, but we do have most of them up on our website right now. So I think we're up to 25 events, special events for this year.
No days off for you.
No days off. So now we're going to show you some of the things that are going on at the park right now. I think this.
So, everyone in here knows a coaster is a living, breathing thing, and what we're doing at the Phoenix this year.
I haven't seen this yet myself.
Oh, you're paying for it. So coming through the bunny hops, what we call turn 3, into and including the brake run, we replaced the entire stack. That stack was original to the rocket. So, and I don't know, wait, no, it wasn't.
No,
I'm sorry, the ledgers were, I'm sorry, getting mixed up. So we replaced the entire stack. It's been there since inception of Phoenix. So like I said, all that was getting done. We're finally putting in a transfer track that doesn't take 4 muscle-bound humans to move. You've all seen it get changed, so we're doing that. It's actually making inspection in the morning of the trains a little simpler. So we're doing that. You can see that in the bottom 2 pictures. So lots of changes to the Phoenix this year, none that are going to take away from it. It'll be even faster, it'll be better. You'll get more airtime on those bunny hops. So.
We're making a couple of changes to the haunted house. The number 1 change is right here. You can see we made the queue line a bit wider. So we can, on our busier days, we can put everyone in the courtyard now, and not have it merge with the lines of the food stands. And then it has an ADA compliant ramp as well. We did have a ramp before, but it wasn't quite as it's better now. And inside we have I can do this. Okay. The best thing about a haunted house, I always said, is that you can always change it. You can't really change a tilt-a-whirl or a Ferris wheel as much as you can change a haunted house. And so we are making a small change on the inside. Oh, a big change. It's a surprising change. So don't worry, it's still a traditional change. It's still going to remain a traditional haunted house, and it's not going to have any special high-tech or special effects. But we think it's going to be great. But it's a surprise.
So everyone here, I think, has ridden the Pioneer train, right? Okay. Right, everybody's ridden that. So in the tunnel, we had to do a little bit of work. Just, some erosion that was happening. Don't worry, it was safe. Everything was fine. But dug it out a little bit. We're gonna pour some concrete. As you can see, obviously with that traditional amusement park. So we did not touch the stone wall. We left that there, and we're working around it and then put everything back. So when you ride April 30th at noon when we open with a buy one get one. Yes. So come out, and May 1st. Buy one get one. So the entire weekend is a buy one get one. So when you come and you must bring nice weather with you, then you'll see the work that got done if you look hard enough.
That tunnel was put in 1960.
So here's one that Rick and I never heard. That tunnel was actually put in 1960. So that means I can go home for the day. I learned something new.
The Whipper. What year did the Whipper come to the park, Dad?
This one came in 1950.
In 1950, we had a Whipper before then, but we have this one here. This came from Krupp's Glen Park in Hunlock Creek, PA. Anyway, it came with all solid colors, and we've only ever scuffed it up to repaint it every now and then. But we finally, for the first time in 55 years, we sanded it. 65 years. Lord math again. We sanded it further down to the metal, and we found this amazing scroll work on the back that we never knew was there, or if we did know, we completely forgotten about it. But we thought it was fantastic, and so what we did is we sent out some emails. We sent to Derek Shaw and Jim Futrell and some others, sending us photos of what the whip cars were going to be like, and what they were, at that time. And we got plenty of photos, and we had our park auditors come up with a new kind of scroll work. So for our 90th anniversary, we're going to have this beautiful scroll work on the back and the front of each of our whip cars.
I might add that this, like Brian said, it came from Krups Glen, or who's that? Krups Glen and Hunlock Creek, which is on Route 11 north of Berwick and south of Pittston, Wilkes-Barre. Anyway, I remember that ride there because that's where we also got the S&G merry-go-round. And the Wurlitzer 165 that's over at the Phoenix, the Baby's Aid Station, a shooting gallery, and the little curved top part of the cotton candy stand, or this mix-it-up stand. All those things came from there.
Did you use the same truck to bring home the Rotojet?
With a new clutch.
No, this was 20 years before that. But I remember being there. Krups Glen Park had a big stream coming down the mountain, and they had built a swimming pool off to the side to divert water from the creek in for the swimming pool. And then it would go on, continue on down, and the whip ride was built on a platform supported by concrete piers over the creek. And there was also 2 roller coasters there. There was one in the park that belonged to the guy who was leasing the land to operate the park. But the guy that owned the land wasn't happy about that, so he built a roller coaster on his land just adjacent to it. It almost sounded like a Rocky Glen story. But that was the way it was. And over the years, the high water, ice and everything had knocked the piers off under the building. And the building was, I'd say, treacherous. But actually the whip at that time in there was powered by a steam engine. And I remember the steam engine had 6-foot flywheels. I don't know whatever happened to that, but we didn't take that. But that's where the whip came from. And as close as I could figure, we are 90 years old. Those whip cars are approximately, within 1 or 2 years, the same age. However, there's one difference about them. They had a different caster arrangement underneath, bearing arrangement. I happened to be in Coney Island, Cincinnati one time, looking at their water slides, which was back in about 1978, 79, and they had all of these whip cars sitting outside the building. And I said, "What are you doing with whip cars?" "Oh, we're thinning them in the junkyard." I said, "No, you're not." I had them take the springs and tongues off, and all also the caster arrangements, put them in a crate and send them to me, and we put those updated caster units on our whip. So it's another compounded ride, parts from here, parts from there. Okay. Now it's turn to sit down again.
So, Phoenix is getting some work, as is the Twister. So for a few years, we've been watching what we call a high turn on top of the second lift hill, start to sway a little bit. And it's safe, it was just starting to sway a little more than what we wanted it to. So we had great coasters do some work for us, stiffening it up. We had Leonard Adams from Structural Technologies. He's going to he tore off the track. He's going to retrack it here, starting just in the next maybe 10 days. Right now we have Leonard helping our in-house crew on the Phoenix right now. So we're redoing like the dead man in the center is all cables. Well, the cables work great when the coaster car for the it holds in that structure. It's 90 feet up. It holds it inward, from swaying out. But the cables don't do anything when it swings in. So after the train goes by, you'll see that start to rack. Well, it was loosening it up a little bit, so the staff was tightening and tightening and tightening and tightening. So we're taking that out. We're putting in a larger dead man, and we're going to use 4x6s down to a beefier dead man. stiffen the coaster up a little bit. So you won't notice any changes as you ride it, but it's just preventative maintenance, let's say. So that's what's going on with the Twister.
How many people here knew that Knoebels had laser tag arena? About half. And how many didn't?
How many
Quite a
people
few.
like raising their hand?
We've had one for 21 years. We have been using the same guns for 21 years. We got our money's worth. So it was time it was getting stale, and we wanted to do something a little bit different. So this was in our Old Country Bear Show, and we initially had the Country Bear Show. The building was built in '79, and we opened in 1980, and we still had the stage on the other side of the wall, and we still had the bears. And they were there the whole time, and now things have been built around it. We actually had to move some bears here and there, and it became a bit of a warehouse. But we decided to move into that space and move much further ahead, also into the queue line. We used to have a queue line for the bear show, which we've never used for laser tag. So yeah, we made the building a bit bigger and expanding it a great deal, and we're going to redo the laser tag. It's going to be awesome. And we have new guns. Everything in it is brand new. So we hope that you can all come down and shoot each other up.
I don't know if I was so good at it.
Yeah. Sit down.
So, with the positive feedback we received from the exclusive event from this past year, we've decided to repeat it again this year. So it will be the Friday night before Phoenix Fall Fun Fest from 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock. Did we tell you that we were doing this yet?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. And we are 99.9% sure that we know the rides that we're going to use this year, and we're 99.9% sure you're going to absolutely love it. So we'll leave it at that, but we're pretty sure it'll be 2 rides, and we'll do the same thing with food. Bring a guest, registered enthusiasts only.
You're in charge of the nice weather.
And for anybody interested in American Coaster Enthusiast, aceonline.org. All the information is there to join. We have memberships starting at $20. It's a 6-month trial membership. Very easy to get in, sign up online, and come and join us. We have a great time. All kinds of events, magazines, newsletters. We get off-season tours like this at various amusement parks when they're putting in coasters. So there's a lot of benefits to joining other than riding the coasters.